know that all UI designers have this one skill which sets them apart, their ability to visualize the invisible out of nowhere. So how do they do that? We'll talk about in this video. Hello everyone, welcome to the Design and Tech Show. This is Shazib Kazmi, your host, and today we are going to talk about the key skill set which all UI designers have, which enables them to work in their capacities. The first skill is to set the look and feel of the entire interface pre-designed. The one technique which they all use is mood board. So what is a mood board? So a mood board is a place where all their research is collected, and one look at that mood board gives off the entire look and feel of the entire UI. Well, what is a mood board consist of? Well, a mood board firstly consists of visual research. What is that? Well, it's just researching the certain pictures on the internet, copyright free or not, but those pictures convey the same message you want your UI to convey, and in turn the message that would be relayed through your UI. So what you do is that you go to certain websites like Pexels or Unsplash, and you collect the pictures from these websites and then place it in that mood board and just collect over there. You can also move on and use those pictures in your interface, and this would help passing on that information. So that is the visual research. The second part is the color palette. So colors are also visual as well as the typography. So because of their visual nature, you can decide on certain typefaces and certain colors to talk that message in your UI, and you can collect those in the mood board as well. So a mood board consists of visual research, which are pictures, the color palette, and the typography. So that was all about the entire look and feel. So now let's get into the specifics, the tools which UI designers use. The first tool is language. Now language is a very, very powerful tool because it's very powerful and it's very fast. Like, your UI is not going to be all visual. It will have certain text and certain language used in that interface. So that language should also be intricately chosen so that the message which you want to give off is there. Like, I want to create an interface for a fitness app, so the language used should have connotations related to health, fitness, and exercise, and a happy lifestyle. So that's how you can tailor your language in the interface to give off the mood and vibe you want to give off through that interface. So that's language as a tool. Another tool which they use is color, and as I said, color is very, very powerful because of its visual nature, and also because we human beings tend to associate some colors with certain emotions, such as red, yellow. These are associated with energy and warmth and just intensity, right? And the color blue and green, so blues are associated with coldness, with icy, and green to nature and health. So this is how we can use colors to give off our own message. Next tool which they use is shapes. So shapes are very essential, and they can be used in two places: shapes for functionality and shapes for aesthetics. So shapes for aesthetics are there for look and feel, and they don't contribute to functionality that much, but shapes for functionality, they contribute to the functionality, such as buttons. So if you have seen buttons, their shapes are very systematic, means that they derive their logic from the real world. If you have ever seen the shape of a button, so that shape has got shadows and certain features which is just like how it would appear in the real life. That's how shapes are used, and they're very common in all the interfaces. Typography is also a tool which the designers use, and we have already selected which typography we are going to use in our mood board, because certain typefaces have certain emotions associated with them due to their visual nature, like Comic Sans and sans serif and handwritten serif. These all typefaces have different feelings coming out of them. So based on your message, based on your interface, based on your product, you should use the right typography, and then that would keep the entire interface very consistent. The last tool which the UI designers use is icons. Now icons are very confused with symbols, so let me just clear that up first. So icons are very pictorial, are a very pictorial representation, whereas a symbol is a very abstract representation. So we can take an example of headphones. So its icon would be an apt pictorial representation of the headphones, like how they look like in real life, and one look at that icon and we would know that it's talking about the headphones. The symbol, whereas, is more of an abstract, and it would be more of an idea. So what are headphones associated with? Music. So those music icons of those weird things, so that would be the symbol of those headphones. So as you can see, an icon is a very pictorial representation and a symbol is more of an abstract way of representation. So what do designers do is that they try to find the middle ground of these two things and derive the best of the both worlds. So then what happens is they get an icon which is very easily recognizable, and it talks about the same, and it's also able to relay a certain message. We can take an example of these all icons from the Windows operating systems, and we can see how well they derive their strengths from both things, icons and symbols. These were all the tools which UI designers use while thinking of the look and feel and visualizing their interfaces before they have anything tangible. So this is what designers do, and I hope this video helped you learn about these concepts, and you can now jumpstart your process of the UI design. Our next videos will be talking about all these tools in much more depth, and we will also be talking about some more skills that UI designers use. So do stay tuned. This was Shazib Kazmi, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.